Welcome again to Project with Brian. And you'll remember that one of my Christmas presents was the new Makita baby saw for the 10.8 battery platform. Now you'll remember that I've got the Worxsaw mini saw, and in first uses I've enjoyed using it. It's a corded one, although they now do a battery platform one. Its downsides have always been that you've got to hold it, push the button, start the machine before you take the machine to the work piece. That's bad design. It also had a laser, and that was as useful as a chocolate teapot, and broke very quickly. That having been said, the Worxsaw mini circular saw has been in use recently. I've been using it to cut cable board very effectively. But this one is being prompted by the fact that, one, we can go cordless. True, I could go cordless with the Worxsaw tool, because I do one now, but why would I invest in their platform when the Makita platform, 10.8 platform, is become very well established, very well used, and I've got a few of the tools now because you can buy them body only, and this is a body only tool using the CXT battery. We're going to unbox it between us for the very first time. You won't have seen it, I haven't seen it, but let's see what we have, and we'll see if we can get it working on a test piece while we're making this video. So, opening the box, we get the usual paperwork. Let's put that to one side, little packing piece, and then out comes the tool. And it has a dust extractor with it. Nobody uses the dust extractor in my world, but they may in yours. The first thing I notice is I can't see a guide. If I look in the box, to the bottom of the box, will I see a guide? Now I find that strange. No guide. There's provision for it. There's where the screw is meant to go to secure it. Here's the slot that goes in it. Got to buy that separately. Not usually a problem anyway, because most of these things are done using the little detent at the front, which shows you where the blade is going, and you use that as your guide, and you'll see why I do that in a moment. But I think that's strange. Little piece of metal for the for a guide. I can see it being useful to have a parallel guide. Blade locking thing, I would assume, so that you can undo it. I can't see the Allen key. Yes, it's an Allen key here, ready to unlock the blade and change the blade. The blade is 85mm. It'll cut a little over 2 inches. It can bevel by the look of it from here. But let's put a battery in it and see what happens. So there's I've used a 2 amp hour battery, but the advantage of the CXT ranges I've now got as one of my other Christmas presents, the 4 amp hour battery. So you can use these for quite a long period of time. It's got buttons here, which are push down buttons, and you can use it from either side. That means a left-handed person can use it as easily, and it means, because of the slimness of this handle and being able to push it, I can operate it before I ever get to the tool, to the job. Couldn't do that on the Worxsaw machine. Now what I've got is a test piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cut just to show you what it does. Made mincemeat of that. That's because it's got a very, very thin blade. So it's not putting any stress on the motor, and all the time that blade is sharp, that's going to do a brilliant job of cutting, the finish is going to be good as well. But what often these tools are used for is when you've got tongue and groove flooring. Now I haven't tried this yet, but what I do when I'm going to lift a floorboard is I put my slot there and put it up against my slot there, switch on, and I've cut through the tongue, which now means when I lift the board it's not locked in place. If I wanted to do the other side, can do the other side as well. Quite often you split the tongue when it's in the other side. But that's the biggest use for this tool. Another use that I would use this tool quite often is for sheet material. I was looking around for a bit of sheet material earlier on that I wanted to use, but I haven't got one easily to hand. But thin sheet material, and if I'm going to use this big saw bench, maybe it's a bit too long, just nip it a bit off the end, yeah, with something small and light and capable there. So maximum depth of a little over an inch. No guide, don't understand that. Depth of cut is adjustable, angle cut is adjustable, two-handed operation, two-handed left or right-handed operation to operate the safety device before you switch on. 10.8 CXT battery range, and it's got its own Allen key for blade changes. I'm going to find this a joy to use. So let's just have a little walk around the tool. This is the mitre guide, so you can unlock that and cut up 45 degrees, unlock back down. You can see here, this is the blade lock, so that when you undo it, and I've listened to one of the comments on one of my tools, and if you ever change the blade, take the battery out. It's good safety practice, and I stand corrected. Then it's got the easy start mechanism there, which can be used on both hands. We've got the soft rubber feel to it. This was available in the NiCad range of batteries, and its motor exhaust pointed towards the blade so that it would blow the sawdust away. We're all well versioned to the that we have to do when we're jigsawing or cutting things because of where the dust is. And on this one, of course, you've got a plastic guard, which is all helping to keep the weight down. And of course, the biggest weight reduction that any tool can have is the battery, and certainly the lithium ion 10.8 batteries are much lighter than NiCads. And here is our depth control, all the way from nothing to 25mm plus. Yeah, and if I were to flip it over, there's your there's your key to unlock the motor. I haven't yet worked out whether it's a normal screw or a left-hand operating screw yet, that some tools have. I've seen screws like this break before because someone is trying to undo it when in actual fact they're tightening it up because it's a left-hand screw. So always check before you try. So that's the Makita little mini saw. What do you think? Worth having in your toolbox, I think. Thank you again for watching with Brian. Hit the bell. Don't forget to subscribe. Add any comments if you'd like to see a head-to-head of this with my Worx mains operated tool. The one big advantage at the moment of the Worx one is I chose the one with a bigger depth of cut that goes up to 4 inches, which is not quite the head-to-head that it will be with this. but you'll get an idea of how easy or difficult they are to use in day-to-day use. And we're on Instagram and Twitter. So, thanks again for watching Budget with Brian. See you on the next film.